Hi, it's Jennifer Evans with Empowering Wellness Counseling Solutions, and today we are talking about radical acceptance. So we've been talking this week about values, the good enough self, and now we are at radical acceptance. And what we have found is radical acceptance is entwined in everything that we do because of the good enough self, which tells us that we lean towards this sense of perfectionism. We find that radical acceptance, and we know also about external validators and getting lost in the cycle of external validators. So go and take a look at that video if you want to learn more about it. And we get lost in these black hole of these emotions, these cognitive distortions that feed our depressive and our anxious self. All of those reasons, in order to live a happier and healthier life, we really need radical acceptance. And radical acceptance is being present without judgment and allowing life to serve us. And so when events happen, radical acceptance says, okay, does this serve me? Does this fall in line with my values, my goals, the outcomes that I want to achieve? Will this be a process that's relevant to me? Step one, if we had a little decision tree, yes or no? No, get away, set a boundary. We don't need this. Yes, it is something that serves me. Okay, so it does serve you. It's something you want in your life, but sometimes we judge it. We say, well, I don't love the branding on this one. I don't really enjoy that this, how or who it's coming from. I don't know if I trust this. I don't know if I trust that. My past is going to come up and part of this judgment because now we're stressed out. So my past is coming in. It's saying this is what your value is and this is what your value isn't. And not in a good way, not to say these are my values, but as in when stress and trauma occupies our present, we often get cognitive distortions that say that we personalize, we find all or nothing thinking, we find overgeneralizations that say and reinforce that we're just not good enough and that we are different. We can't connect with other people, so we self-isolate a lot when our past is occupying our present. And so for those reasons, we let those go. They don't belong in our present. So radical acceptance says, I get that you're there, but you're a door that needs to be closed. We do not need you in our here and now. And radical acceptance allows us to look at the information for blank data points to see what is valid, what is invalid, how does it serve me, and what do I want to do? How do I want to be present with whatever it is in front of me? And it's accepting that the past for the past. It's never agreeing. Radical acceptance is not agreeing that things are okay. The bad things that happen in our lives are not okay. But they do happen. And when they do happen, the brain it's just another organ. And it has a survival function in it. In order to survive, it remembers these things. But remember, it remembers it, one, concretely, because we're in a stress state. So there's no nuances. It's all or nothing thinking. It's all or nothing remembering. And two, it remembers based on the age in which you had it. So that's why it gets so tricky with implicit memory. Please go watch the videos on implicit memory if you want to know more about trauma and how it occupies our present. But because of implicit memory, it gets so tricky because we're remembering things based on the age in which we had a stressful experience. And so I always talk about, when related to implicit memory, and trying to let go of the judgment and accept that this is what it is. Like it got ingrained in here, and there's nothing, nobody can do about that. But who hasn't, as a young child, had that one spurt of energy, maybe one too many Skittles or something late at night, but we had the burst of energy and we're like, oh, what do the adults do? And we get up out of our bed and we go real quietly down the hallway and we peek into the living room and our parents are watching something that is not a Disney movie. And it's not to say that it's nefarious, but Law and Order is traumatizing for a 6-year-old. Like, it's not something we should be doing. Like, we should not be showing things like that. And that's why there are ratings on television, and why ratings that are not G happen later at night, because kids should be in bed. I hate to use a shoulda coulda because it is anxious thinking, but it's kind of a developmental fact. So when you did that, you're already like, I'm not supposed to be awake. So you're already feeling shame and guilt. You shouldn't be awake. And then this thing is like really stressful for you. And then you're going back to bed, and it may not be something that you explicitly remember, but implicitly we're all kind of geared with these memories or these ideas of like good or bad. Like, that is in childhood, you're either a good girl or you're a bad girl. There's not like, well, you did something good and I could see the right reason, but really you weren't supposed to do that. And you know, we kind of know Robin Hood steals from the rich to give to the poor, but, you know, like, we don't really go into, is he good or bad, and the nuances behind it. And so that's the implicit brain, is it's tracking old information based on old thought processes that may not have any relevance into the present. And that radical acceptance says that that's just the brain, man. It's just the brain. Just let it be. It's just another organ trying to survive. But it doesn't do it so efficiently anymore. And there are pieces of data and information that we just need to wipe off our hard drive, because it doesn't really serve us, and it's just extra windows open, slowing down our processing speed. So that's what I have for you today. Radical acceptance is really important. The more that you can live life in the here and now without judgment, and not agreeing that it's okay, but rather just understanding that this is the way, will take you very, very far in life. It'll allow you to be the good enough self. It'll allow you to have and enjoy all the little pieces of good and glory that come every single day. And it'll allow you to start building these proverbial cups. I am Jennifer Evans, and this is Empowering Wellness Counseling Solutions. Thank you so much. Hi, it's Jennifer Evans. I hope you are liking my videos. If you do, please comment below. Let me know if you have any questions. If there's topics that you're just dying to know about, and why do I do this and why do they do that, I would love to answer them. I do come from a cognitive behavioral background, but as we see in some of my videos, I love object relations. I love attachment theory. I love Erickson and his psychosocial developmental theories. So I do pull from a lot of different places in order to kind of build out that our thoughts, our feelings, our behaviors, something triggers it, and there's always a consequence after it. And that is the beauty of life, and why we have a lot more control over our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors than we give ourselves credit for. This is a huge passion of mine, a calling, if you will. And I am here to support you. I've written 2 books, and I've got, the goal is 3 a year. So I've got several that are coming out in different, on different topics. But what we have right now, and you can go click on the Amazon link in the video descriptions below, but we have Saying Goodbye to Bad Brain. This is going to go and teach you everything you need to know about your negative narrative. So if you feel like life is hard and it just feels like you don't understand people, or you don't understand why somebody you love keeps making the dumbest mistakes and decisions, what is their problem? They have bad brain. Go read about it. Find some empathy. Find some grace, because that is just them recapitulating their past. And we do it for ourselves, and other people do it to us. And so when we know what they're doing, it makes it feel a lot less annoying and a lot more like we have agency over those experiences. So saying goodbye to bad brain. I also just released, and I'm very excited, is Key Steps to Living a Happier and Healthier Life. This is a workbook that is going to help you define what your values are, what success is for you, and what your vision of success, and it is going to go through everything that stresses us out and makes us live in suffering and despair, allow that bad brain to get involved, and instead of living in the present. So this will go through all the main things: building work-life balance, being able to be good enough, finding radical acceptance, decision making, which who would have thought that that was something, but it really breaks everything down that prevents you from living a happier and healthier life, and then allowing you to challenge those thoughts so that you can. So these are the key skills. So in my practice, I take the ABC model from Albert Ellis, through CBT, and I kind of open it up to this kind of overarching trajectory. And so we have awareness, acceptance, action. So the 3 A's of my treatment support with others, whether that's coaching or in therapy, through my books, and I have success groups as well. So I've got a lot of supports, and I use the same model. And that is, we need to build awareness about kind of why we do the things we do. We accept it. We don't agree, but we accept, okay, this is kind of my trajectory. I can see how it all comes together. I see trending patterns. I see how I act the same way. Actually, I get frustrated, but yet I'm acting the same exact ways because it is predictable, because that's my brain. It's bad brain working. It's a really good book. And so then we have action. And so I teach you lots and lots of ways to understand what the brain is doing and how to counter, how to challenge, counter, and do opposite actions. And so we have lots and lots of ways. The Bad Brain book has tons of ways in which we do that. And then the workbook has ways to start reflecting. We have exercises, activities, and journal prompts. And this book will actually, Key Steps to Living a Happier and Healthier Life, will follow my success group. So it is a 6-month success group. We break it down into 9 weeks. This is part 1, is living a happier and healthier life. Then we're going to have, we also have a part 2 section and a part 3. So you can come in at each of those sections, and it will have a continuous flow. Part 2 is our emotional regulation. So we're really looking at the relationship we have with ourselves and how the bad brain comes in and makes us reactionary, and how to calm and be more action oriented. Part 3 is interpersonal skills. How do you relate with others? How do you make yourself available? The key to life is you can't control the outcomes. You got to put all those processes out there. How do you put yourself out in that process to help others and to let others help you? That is section 3. We do have a subscription program, so accountability is everything, and it is in my first part of this workbook. So you can sign up, go to my website, counselingwellnesssolutions.com. It is in the description, and check out all of these great programs that I have set up to help everybody live a happier and healthier life, no matter where your state of change. Thank you so much. Please like and share my videos. I would appreciate it. Thank you.